Hi everyone. I want to show you in this video pictures that I took from the boat yesterday and then when I got off the boat, so you can see these long lines right here, really, and they stayed there for an hour. Clouds were moving, but these lines stayed for a long time. Have a look.
Okay, look at these long, long lines in the sky. Clouds don't behave like that. Unbelievable.
Oh, I just want you to notice something right here. Here's a cloud with a rectangle cut out. See that? Do clouds used to look like that? Well, these aren't clouds. These aren't clouds like they used to be because these clouds have all these little wispy things around the edge, and these are new kind of clouds that people are getting used to, in my opinion.
So it's Lama Island, Hong Kong, June 27th, 2018.
Don't know why it's really jumping around like that. But here's the other one when I got off the boat. And it's really beautiful, but as you can see, those lines are still there, and this dark piece right here became like this big triangle, like a huge mountain of darkness. I don't know why the video is all jerky, but you can still see the lines there. See how the clouds are moving and these lines are not at all. And there's all this white filmy stuff up here. Thick.
me why I need you to do it this time.
Anyway, that's what it looked like for people who are interested. And I don't know if it looks odd to you guys, but if someone has time on their hands, they can go to the Lifeboat Foundation. I would go to the Lifeboat Foundation and look up this, the Nano Shield, because maybe that's what they're doing now, building the Nano Shield. And I was going to make a video about it because there is some information on there that is unbelievable. Look, they only have $3,620, but this Nano Shield, a Nano Shield program, massive utility fog, and this is with nano particles. But take time to read. I'm going to make a video later and report what I read because it's crazy. And even it does talk about people being connected to computers and being able to be remotely contacted. Here's an overview. Oh, I just had to look at it right now for a second. Okay, they have a BioShield proposal. Look, BioShield here. NanoShield, BioShield to protect Earth, all life on Earth. So they must be worried about it. And this is because scientists are creating things in their laboratories that could wipe out everything on Earth. So now they have to figure out a way to protect themselves from the things that they are creating. And one thing is leading to another, and it is getting so complicated, I don't think they know how to deal with it. See, Ray Kurzweil is in on everything, and Bill Frist. Okay, what's this? However, tomorrow's biggest danger is nanoweapons, and we believe it is now time to develop a solution to this problem. Kurzweil said, as the threshold for self-organizing nanotechnology approaches the threshold. We will then need to invest specifically in the development of defensive technologies in that area, including the creation of a technological immune system. So it seems to me that Kurzweil is driving everything. There are two types of nanoweapons: self-replicating weapons, acophages, that make copies of themselves. Their only means of attack may be to eat the enemy or his resources as they self-replicate. Well, if we have Cynthia, the synthetic biology in the Gulf, is that self-replicating and eating oil, and is it out of control? And we have number 2, non-replicating nanoweapons, similar to the tools of war today that are manufactured in a factory and then used in battle. The nanoshield proposal has been designed primarily to handle self-replicating weapons. Do you realize how many things they aren't telling us? But it will also be an excellent first line of defense against non-replicating weapons. Non-replicating weapons are more difficult to defend against since they don't need to spend a lot of time and effort in replicating. They're easier to design since they do not have to include instructions on how to replicate. So here are some nano safety links. But down here it talks about the MM, the molecular machines that manufacture. So see, they're worried more about the non-replicating. Okay, background. All right, molecular nanotechnology is the risk that artificial nanotech replicators capable of digesting biological materials and functioning autonomously in the natural environment. Oh my gosh, I hope they don't escape. What if that is what's causing the flesh-eating bacteria? Okay, so they could quickly convert the entire global ecosystem into more copies of themselves. Okay, we know that. That's about the gray goo, I think. Such replicators, called ecophages, would constitute a class of sophisticated artificial life forms more lethal than any plague that has ever existed on this planet. Okay, get ready, guys. I think it might be end times. Okay, so this is on Lifeboat Foundation page. You can find it easily because it's worth reading. I read it once through and I was just like, oh my gosh, I've got to read this again and pick out some things and make a video about it to let people know. But because there is a war on, laboratories all over the world are working on nanotechnology. Nanofactory collaboration. So I'm just going to go down here and, okay, these are molecular molecular machines. So they talk a lot about it down here, and they resonate at the same set of frequencies. nanorobots, and their parts have very high resonant frequencies. So here we are, you know, you think about Morgellons and the wires that people are breathing in. So here you can go on and, oh my gosh, tuning forks. Okay. I'm just going to go down here because it's pretty scientific. And, okay, there's one approach that might defeat infrared monitoring step, summarizing a key point from Freitas I don't know how you say that, ecophagy paper. Kurzweil notes, we can envision a more insidious possibility. In a two-phased attack, the nanobots take several weeks to spread through the biomass but use up an insignificant portion of the carbon atoms, say 1 out of every quadrillion. At this extremely low level of concentration, the nanobots would be as stealthy as possible. Then, at an optimal point, the second phase would begin with the seed nanobots expanding rapidly in place to destroy the biomass. All right. I like quanta. Chemical bonds can also be broken by electromagnetic quanta at the correct frequency. Okay, I think this is important to know. It takes time to read this if you're not a scientist. But you would be surprised when they talk about being able to remotely access people's being, their brains or their minds. And they're talking about it in here, as I remember. Here is a bush robot. Emergency defenses. Okay, we're talking about a nano shield, and we're on number 4, emergency defenses. In such cases, it would be helpful if the nano shield included emergency defenses that would be effective against a wide range of ecophagy types, with even broader impact than non-specific immunity responses. The use of emergency defenses would disrupt lives and economic and ecological systems, but the mere existence of these relevant defenses, prepared but unused, will not cause harm. They're going to destroy the earth and everyone. Oh, well, have no fear. This has all been talked about in many documents, including the Bible, the Holy Book. In the aftermath of what? Advanced molecular manufacturing and nanomedicine should allow us to repair many forms of damage to biological organisms, including individual human beings. Much, although perhaps not all, of the natural global ecological infrastructure might be reconstituted if proper genetic and statistical records have been maintained that describe the location and design of every large object and organism. Oh, so this is why they're collecting all the genetic material and DNA of everything, because if they destroy everything, they can bring it back to life. They can reconstitute it, you know, like orange juice. The possible misuse of specific countermeasures or emergency defenses is inevitably a serious concern, but one that should be almost as manageable as the risk of misuse of nuclear weapons. We say only almost as manageable because molecular machines or molecular manufacturing seems to favor evasion more than detection. Okay, sky sweepers. Emergency ecophagy defenses are sky sweepers. Air filtering nanoscoop devices could filter the whole Earth's atmosphere, thereby removing all aerivores. Utility fog. Massive utility fog curtains capable of establishing filters for the separation of the atmosphere into compartments containing an ecophagy outbreak or enabling the rapid establishment of expanding sterile bubbles, barriers with which organisms can be saved from any ecophagy that they don't bring in with them. Curtains may defend their integrity with multiple layers. Fog lights. Solar shades. So are they doing this now? Are they doing some of this now? Solar shades. Large solar shields that can be used to block the sunlight reaching Earth's surface, thus denying power or reducing the power available to solar-powered replicators. Prompt disablement or sequestration over a short time period of ecophages rendered dormant or lethargic may allow most terrestrial plant life to survive the prolonged darkness unharmed. Darkness. This is dark. Localized heating, orbiting mirrors, electromagnetic pulse, radiation, new monitoring agencies. The proposed new nanotech monitoring agencies would be charged with initiating the early studies and preliminary implementation of the nano shield. Each country's agency should coordinate with other agencies and when they are ready to establish active defenses outside their own countries. So, is there a race on to produce nano shields? Unstable arms race, non-replicating nanoweapons. Oh, this is pleasant. Molecular manufacturing also raises the possibility of horrifically effective non-replicating nanoweapons. Okay, they describe the difference here, including killing only specific parties. Okay. As many as 50 billion toxin-carrying devices, theoretically enough to kill every human on Earth, could be packed into a single suitcase. Other possible nanoweapons, most of which have known defenses that could be incorporated into the nanoshield. Computer viruses that make other people's nanofactories build bombs. Inhalable or skin-penetrating machines that travel to the nervous system, allowing outside sources to take over inputs or outputs. Okay, this is the scary thing. Inhalable or skin-penetrating machines. You know how they're always talking about how great nanotechnology is, and it's going to like clean out your 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 arteries and repair your brain and everything. So this is what we're faced with using nanotechnology as weapons. Okay, so they can be inhalable, skin-penetrating machines that travel to the nervous system, allowing outside sources to take over inputs or outputs. That's when we're already cyborgs. But who knows if we're inhaling this stuff now? Massive nanofactories could consume a substantial fraction of Earth's CO2. Okay, lots of interesting things in here to read. And it's pretty long. So, surveillance is when you're being surveilled and then you surveil them. Transparency versus privacy. All right, here. Neil Jacobson, chairman of the Institute for Molecular Manufacturing, nanotechnology-enabled transparency and accountability will produce the worst form of government, except for all those other forms that have been tried from time to time. Is it acceptable for governments to monitor civilians with quintillions of sensors, and for civilians to monitor their governments with quintillions of sensors? Or is that irresponsible and dangerous? A larger policy question is, should the nanoshield try to handle every possible class of nano attack? So this must be a real threat if they want to make it, and if they're talking so much about it right now. Conclusion, I just go to the end. The reason the nanoshield could handle bioweapons and pandemic problems is that the nanoshield would be designed to handle a large range of designs, from carbon-based to silicon-based to boron-based to ecophages with virtually no onboard intelligence, as well as those on board sophisticated computers, all mechanical inner workings or designs that include electronic components, etc. In contrast, bioweapons and pandemics would have a much smaller range of designs and therefore be easier for the nanoshield to defeat. Okay, so there you go. And here are references, and some of them were written back in 2000, 1999. Fractal branching and ultra-dexterous robots, NASA. So it does say in the Bible that the people destroyed the world, and God will destroy those people who destroyed the world. And anyway, so I guess this is all. I always wondered how it was going to end. How could the Earth actually be destroyed? But it looks like they know how. They figured it out. Anyway. Okay, well, nothing to be afraid of, because this world has been overcome. And there's a lot to learn about it, but it's really simple, I think. Anyway, the world makes sense when this is a scary place, and to have faith and trust in Jesus Christ is very comforting. The BioShield proposal. Okay, this video has gone on way too long, So anyway, you can check it out yourself. It's just type in the Lifeboat Foundation, and then here's the site map, and then you find anything that you want to read. And remember that this has the leaders of Google. It has Ray Kurzweil for president. Look, store. And Ray Kurzweil is leading us into the singularity and transhumanism, okay? So you owe it to yourself to go and read this and find out what it's all about. These are people who want to take over evolution and become immortal. So I'm gonna read more of it later too, but everyone has to dig in and check it out on their own. All right, thank you very much for listening to this. It's so long, and I didn't expect to make it this long, but I did. So God bless everyone with deep truth and peace in your soul and spirit, and thanks for listening.